Hello, everyone. Welcome to our monthly InfoSec Seminar organized by the Information Systems Security and Assurance Management Department in Mihalshan School of Management. As this is the first seminar for this academic year, I would like to inform you that the seminar is open to anyone who is interested in security research and technologies. So please feel free to invite your friends to the upcoming seminars. Today, we are pleased to have Maninder Singh to give us an interesting talk about get to know to be hired in Fortinet. Maninder is the tech director at Fortinet and has been with the company for 11 years. He started his journey as an L1 engineer in 2011 and has been in a leadership role for the last 9 years. He is responsible for leading a team of 50 engineers supporting NAOS tech operations at the company. Thanks, Maninder, for being with us today, and thank you all for attending the seminar. And please, for those who are attending without Concordia email addresses, please register at the following link to receive your attendance certificate. So I will share the link with you in the chatting area. So thanks. It's all yours now, Maninder.
Well, guys, once again, very good morning, and my sincere thanks to Aslam and the staff of Concordia University to give me an opportunity, to give Fortinet an opportunity to do this public speaking. The goal is to make everyone aware, and some of the candidates who are studying in University of Concordia and different computer networking programs, to get them some visibility, direction on what they need to do to be hired. I'm pretty sure if I talk 15 minutes, 20 minutes on ZTNA, SDWAN, or Security Fabric, some of you might not be interested, but you want to know what we need to do to be hired in Fortinet or any XYZ company. The key thing is, guys, if you have to achieve, you got to believe, you got to be a believer to be an achiever. That's the first thing. I want you to know that, to achieve something, believe in yourself, you can do that. Be plus do is equal to have. Be is what exactly be? Be as in Bob, E as in Echo. That's what I mean, be. B is all about self-awareness, to know yourself, who you are, what you can do. To do, I mean, now you have known yourself, who you are. Now, plus do is what can you do, what your abilities are, what your capabilities are, and is equal to have. Now what do you want to have? If you understand these three, words, it will bring a lot of difference in your career. It's all about be, do, equal to have. So today, as the topic of this public speaking is get to know to be hired in Fortinet, as I was also it's mentioned, I was going to talk about, ZTNA, SD-WAN, and Security Fabric. Definitely, I'll give you a very quick overview, and then the focus will be what you need to do to be hired in Fortinet. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let me see. Present now. Okay.
So you will find present now button.
Yeah, I'm there already. So
okay.
Sorry. Okay, so I think it's asking for some permissions. Just waiting for some permissions.
I think the host of the call need to give you permission to share screen.
So do you have a slides or something? You can share it with me and I...
Yeah, I was just going to, show the FortiGate by logging into the FortiGate itself rather than sharing the slides. That's what I was planning to do. I think there is permissions issues at your. Let me just try it again.
Aslam, maybe you need to give the permission.
Yeah, it should be coming from your end, Aslam. Let me try that again.
I don't see any permission request.
Okay, you must grant a permissions in order to share the screen share. That's what I'm getting.
Okay,
But
I will make you a host.
okay, let's see if that helps. Okay, let me see. Present now. Can't share your screen. You must grant permissions. Second. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Let's try now. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm getting there. Seems like it's working.
And while we're waiting, I'll take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone for joining, as well as Maninder for the technical difficulties. No worries. We can use the opportunity just to say thank you to our students in our classes, as well as our outside guests for attending today. The InfoSec Seminar keeps getting bigger and better every semester, so it's great that you're here. And it's looking good that we've got something up on the screen, Maninder. So
I'm a TAC director, so I have been, tier 1. I have been tier 2. I mean, we solve customer issues if we cannot solve our own issues. So that will not be good.
And now I'll mute, and because I'm kind of like the side gig while you were getting that going. And thank you as well to also Eslam and Sean Thompson for hosting today as well. Thank you, Maninder. Back over to you. I'm going to mute and go off screen. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So I hope everyone is able to see my screen now. So this is a beautiful GUI of FortiGate. If you ever get a chance to work with FortiGate, or some of you who are in the session who are working on the FortiGate product, you might be familiar. Talking about SD-WAN, it's today everyone is switching to SD-WAN. What exactly SD-WAN is? Today, many customers, they want to save money. We have separate MPLS links, which really cost us a lot. And what is the solution to this? Solution to super redundant connections. That's where SD-WAN plays a role. It's not about redundant connections. It's also about the secure access to your applications, to your network. That's where SD-WAN comes in place. You can see that in my lab unit, I have different ISPs. Where is it's a Thales, it's a Shaw, it's a Verizon, it's Bell. I'm load balancing different different sessions here based on. Let me just show you here. Give me 1 second. So these are my different SD-WAN rules, where I have my source as LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3, and the members I have, port 1, port 2, port 3, and so on. And there comes performance SLAs, where actually it comes, plays an important role, where latency comes in place, where jitter comes in place, where I can define a packet loss threshold. Today, we are switching to cloud. Most of the applications, they are hosted in cloud, and those applications are very, very sensitive to the packet loss. We have many customers, for them, the packet loss is very critical. It can be a financial loss. It could be a productivity loss, anything, right, which is impacting the production. Many big customers like Costco, Home Depot, Walmart, they are all our customers. And they are using our SD-WAN solution. They are using our Security Fabric solution. They are using our ZTNA solution. That's where SD-WAN, plays an important role. I'll say a crucial role, giving them, 99.9% uptime and redundancy when it comes to, SD-WAN solutions. Many organizations, they like the solutions because it's very cost effective. You don't have to purchase, multiple MPLS links to achieve the same. You have one solution within the FortiGate, and I'm very glad to share that, even the new Fortinet FortiGate generations, which is, F generations, they have accelerated chips for SD-WAN just to ensure the speed, the speed, the way the packet traverses, through the interface, the way it gets offloaded is really, impressive. The way traffic is being shaped. So this is what SD-WAN is. Again, I didn't want it to, go through the slides just to show you the same. This is how, you can create different rules. You can define different zones. You can define different members, different gateways, different interfaces. You can prioritize. This is where, robust redundancy comes in place. You define different SD-WAN rules. You can shape, different. It's application sensitive. If you, let's say, if you are hosting certain applications, you want, certain applications to have certain kind of threshold, certain kind of, packet loss threshold, jitter threshold. You can define that easily in the performance SLAs. You can define SD-WAN rules, how you want to shape the traffic, what exactly you want to do that. You can see that, strategy for how outgoing interfaces will be chosen. Best quality, low cost SLA, maximum bandwidth SLA, zone preference, measured SLA. So these are all the criterias which are the part of DSCP. Forward DSCP. This is, if you're not aware of this term, this is for VoIP traffic, where we, those are very sensitive. This is all UDP traffic. So this is what, basically the SD-WAN solution is. Of course, I can talk, demo for next 40 minutes, but I will also respect the time we have been given to this public speaking. SD-WAN rules, again, performance SLAs, again, there is a packet loss, latency, jitter. What do you want to define? You can define that. You can define probes. You can define any protocol. Whether you want to do HTTP, DNS, ping. You want to specify any server which you are very confident in. What participants you want to have. All SD-WAN members specify, certain particular interfaces. What you want to define. You can do all fancy kind of things, and this solution is today adapted by many big organizations. The main reason is, the uptime, the cost effectiveness, and the how the robust the solution is. Next comes is ZTNA. As I said, I'm not going in too much details of SD-WAN. Next comes ZTNA. What exactly ZTNA is? Zero Trust Network Access. That's what ZTNA stands. In this pandemic, there have been so much, cybersecurity is booming because, so much threats, so much networks are being compromised. On LinkedIn, we get to, see all the posts, the news, how the companies are getting, compromised, and what could be the, the solution to this threat. That's where ZTNA comes with. You can easily move away from the VPN solution. Let me demo you this here. Do you see my FortiClient console right here?
No.
Okay. Second.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, great. So currently I'm connected through a FortiClient to my office network. Now, if I click here, you can see that these are the zero trust tags, which is Burnaby Workstation Endpoint Compliance, Fortinet ZTNA Endpoint Compliance _US. So let me just show you how that correlates to this. So that's where ZTNA tag comes. Again, this is my lab and that's my corporate network. I'm just giving you that example. To connect to my internal network, corporate network, I don't have to VPN. Only I have to do is my 40 client, the client which I showed you, just has to be connected to my endpoint solution, which is EMS, Enterprise Server Management. I should be, that will verify the tag. My tag is good, so which is resolving to these certain IPs. And based on that, I'm given access, to my internal network. Of course, SAML comes into place where I'm getting authenticated. I'm doing a SAML authentication here. In a similar way, if I go to my firewall policy and if I look for firewall policy, 1 second. Okay, I got it. That's fine. Let me just scroll it down. Here you go. So you can see that I have an interface, which is my incoming interfaces, my SSL VPN interface, my outgoing ports as my LAN interface. Again, these are the authentication types, with my SAML. And that's where tagging comes in place. I can choose any tags I want, good, logged domains. So any user which is, logged to this particular domain, resolves to this particular IP, that will be tagged by EMS, and then only they will get access to my corporate network. This is a very, very short demo which I'm giving you. Again, there is more to it where 40 NAC comes into place, 40 EDR comes into place. So that kind of solution, we have at Fortinet, which is a very robust solution, a secure solution, which protects you from any zero-day attacks. Because again, this information is verified by our enterprise server management, just to exploit any zero-day attacks which we might be getting from any vulnerable client. Of course, we have ZTNA rules, we have ZTNA servers here. Here I'm creating, it's just like a port forwarding, any external, I'm defining this external IP, this external port. If they are trying to, hit to this particular URLs, they should be allowed once those tags are verified by my, enterprise server management. I'm not connecting to any VPN to access my internal resources. So again, I'm moving away from a VPN solution, with the ZTNA solution. I won't say I'm completely moving away from VPN solution, but again, to access my corporate network with the ZTNA solution, that gives me that flexibility, and I can be confident, wherever I'm around the world, whether I'm sitting in the coffee shop or any other open network, I should be confident on what I'm doing. Then next comes Security Fabric. The whole logic of Security Fabric is just to consolidate. Fortinet has many solutions like FortiAnalyzer, Manager, EMS, FortiAP, FortiNAC, EDR. So basically, it's consolidating, all the products, under one roof. Let's say, if there is a vulnerability, on FortiAnalyzer, it will, coordinate with FortiGate to verify the same. Hey, I see this. What exactly, your output is. What your feedback is. It will verify, against the logs. Against the policy, to exploit any possible vulnerability, which would be, in the given topology. So I'm not, logging on different products to check what exactly is going under my network. I have one root FortiGate. You can see that under for root FortiGate, I can have multiple leaves like FortiAnalyzer, EMS. I can have hundreds of other FortiGates under one root, just to ensure there is one logical topology for my entire network, where I get a very robust secure connections to my entire corporate network. And this feature, Security Fabric, again, is highly liked by our customers, where they get the complete overview of entire topology of their network. They don't have to log into the different devices to either make changes or to see what exactly is going on with XYZ device. So that's about ZTNA, that's about SD-WAN, that's about Security Fabric. Now I'll come to our core topic, what which is no to get hired at Fortinet. In Fortinet, we have many open positions. I am leading as a tag director here. Of course, we are hiring for technical support positions. Let me give you a quick overview of our technical support center for our Burnaby location. As of today, we have 53 engineers in our tag center. There are different TAC levels, starting from level 1, starting from level 2, level 3, staff level, principal level, and senior principal level. Myself, I started as tier 1. I worked as tier 2, got an opportunity to lead the team of 7, and now we are 53. I'm very proud of what we have accomplished, in Fortinet, and I'm very thankful to my upper management, who believed in us. We get so much racks, to expand our team. It's what Fortinet is growing. Customers likes our product. They are buying a lot. I won't be surprised, even if we grow to 70 or 80 by next year. Our Ottawa team is already, around 100 engineers. So Fortinet has also invested around $15 million in standing up SMB TAC. So just to give you an overview how quickly we are expanding, our customer base is growing. Customers like our product. Customers like our solution because we provide, very robust security, and our GUI is very easy to work with. It's very great. I mean, every customer who takes a look, they really appreciate how easy it is for them to configure things in the GUI. So coming back to the TAC, you can start as tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, staff level, principal level. We are hiring for all levels. Currently, we have around 33 level 1 engineers. We have around 9 level 2 engineers. We have around 10 plus engineers which are at level 3, staff level, principal level, and senior principal level. We are looking for the best talent out, out in the market. A great team, great environment. In my leadership, we are all very technical. We all have great leadership skills. Something we are really proud of is when the pandemic hit. Remote management is the most, I'll say, tough management. When it comes to managing your teams, because everything is virtual. We did a great job in doing one-to-one, with our team members on monthly basis, having monthly team meetings just to ensure everyone is in great shape, everyone is in great health. Having virtual events just to ensure team is syncing up. There is virtual collaboration, there is virtual socializing. Something we are really proud of. A great team environment where everyone is working towards each other's success. When someone succeeds in a team, we see as our success. Our team members, like someone at principal level, someone at staff level, they are more like mentors to the juniors. They make a lot of efforts in publishing KCS knowledge-based articles, delivering trainings, swarming. When you are stuck in the case, quickly you'll post in a technical discussion group, hey, I'm stuck in this particular area. Is there someone able to help me out? So we'll quickly get into a swarming. You'll get a quick advice just to make sure you are not left unattended. So this is the kind of team culture we have here. How to be successful, in the role, and how to get hired in Fortinet is something everyone wants to know. Today, it's for the graduates who are who'll be graduating in the upcoming sessions, maybe in December, maybe in next year. What exactly you are doing today? As I said, be plus do is equal to have. Know yourself. Have a self-awareness. What exactly, where you stand when you go for interviews. We interview many candidates. The most excuse I get from the candidates, I'm very nervous. The body language, you'll start doing like this. You'll start breaking your knuckles. You'll start looking here and there. uh, just to make sure everything you do while going for an interview, it matters, it counts. When you're rubbing your neck, whether some female candidates, they start fixing their hairs. Try to avoid those kind of activities when you're doing. Just try to know what you know. Don't fake anything in your resumes. Even if you know 3 things, just mention it and know them as good as you can. Elaborate them as much as possible. Be confident, be transparent, be honest. It's okay not to know everything. If you ask me today, I don't know everything. Before coming to this session, I have to do quick review on the labs. I had to set up a lab, taking the FortiGate of one of my colleagues. Just be transparent, be honest. No one is going to penalize you. If you need advice, if you need more time, ask for that. If you're scheduled for an interview, and if you need some advice on how to prepare for an interview, don't be hesitant to ask. Especially from our leadership team, we are here to help the candidates so they can succeed, because every candidate out here, especially they are coming from different countries, or they are born and brought up here. Everyone wants to be successful, and what matters is the direction, is the guidance. And believe me, we are here to give you that guidance to the direction. If I ask some of you, how many of you know when you go to google.com, what exactly happens from point 0 to point Z? Ask yourself today, how many of you know, starting from DNS resolution, starting from ARP. I'll start from ARP, because that's a very basic thing which take place. You have to know that, lab it out. In the most common interview scenarios, when we ask, explain us about DSCP. DSCP is, very basic. Even in the session today, most of you will know, hey, what kind of question is that? DSCP. But believe me, 90% of the candidates, they are not able to explain what DSCP is. I will ask you today, how many of you have ever done a packet capture on DSCP handshake? Everyone knows it's DORA process. It's discover, it's offer, it's request, it's acknowledgement, right? This is all we know. I mean, today you can do it easily at your home. You can do forget SSID and try to connect back to the SSID and just do a Wireshark on your wireless interface. You'll exactly know what exactly the discover packet looks like. What is in the layer 2 header? What's in the layer 3 header? What's in the offer packet? Who is sending the offer? Generally, I was recently interviewing a candidate. Answered me, that the discover will be coming from the server. So again, think before you speak. Know what you are trying to mention in your resume. Even if you're trying to mention about DNS, DSCP, make sure you know that well. Make sure you have done packet captures. Make sure you really understand DSCP very well. Who will send the discover? When we look at the discover packet, what's the source IP? Sometimes I see, candidates, I get to know candidates are saying, oh, discover the source IP will be the client's IP. I mean, if client has an IP, then why he has to send a discover? Client IP will be 169.1.1.1. It's a PIPA IP. Don't just, say just for the sake of saying. That really, shows how well you are prepared. So try to be honest. Whatever you are going to mention in your resume, try to lab it out. That's the best thing. Wireshark is a free tool. Things like DSCP, things like DNS, or you can easily do it. You really don't need to invest any money on that. Tools. A very common scenario, when I have a layer 2 switch, and I have two PCs connected to a layer 2 switch. If one PC is trying to ping to another PC, do you really know what exactly happens from the very basic to the time they are able to communicate to each other? Or let's say if the PC is in a other broadcast domain, what happens then? I'm talking about the router on stick scenario. So these are the things. These are very basic things, but I'm telling you, not many know that in detail. Try to lab it out. Try to understand, how the packet is traversing from, one end to another. When you are applying for network security company, we know about firewalls. Generally, when we interview candidates, what the firewalls are. Oh, they can do inspection. They have all the UTM profiles. They can do IDS. They can do IPS. This is what firewall is. If we have great routers in today's world. They can do some kind of inspection as well. But how a firewall differentiates from a router? It's what we expect is from a successful candidate. They should explain us how it differentiates, how it handles the packet, how it handles the routing. I'm talking about symmetric routing. I'm talking about asymmetric routing. I'm talking about stateful connections. This is what we expect you to know in depth when we come about VPNs. What exactly VPN is? It's not about just virtual private network. What exactly, on which protocol it works. How in depth you have studied about VPN, different phases of VPN, different modes of VPN. What kind of homework you have done, when studying about, different kind of VPNs. Have you ever labbed it out? Do you really know what happens at phase 1? Do you really know what happens at phase 2? What is aggressive mode? What is main mode? How it differentiates from each other? Many candidates will reply, one is secure, one is not secure. But if it is not secure, then why we have such kind of features in our firewall? Again, try to know what exactly this VPNs are doing. Why we have different modes. Let me show you. You can see that. Let me show you. Different authentication methods. What are the different algorithms? What is DH group? What exactly you know about IKE v2? What exactly you know about IKE v1? How do they differentiate? So this is what you have to understand. This is what you have to learn. Regardless of in which company you interview, but to be successful, you have to go in that kind of details to really understand what VPN is doing, what exactly is happening in phase 1, what exactly is happening in phase 2. And this is not just with FortiGate, it's just a GUI here. But whether you take it Sophos, whether you take it SonicWall, Cisco, Palo Alto, they all work on the same protocol, which is IKE protocol. So try to understand what IKE is, what IKE v1 is, what IKE v2 is, right? What exactly Diffie-Hellman groups are, what exactly they are doing it. I mean, today, if I ask you, hey, can you please explain me about VPN? I would be really impressed if you elaborate as much as possible without even me asking you, all those specifications. talking about different modes, talking about IKE protocol, on which port it works, NAT, what is NAT traversal, in which scenarios you will be using NAT traversal, how Diffie-Hellman groups plays, an important role, about different algorithms, what happens in phase 1, what happens in phase 2. I mean, this is really, the information every company is looking from a successful candidate. When it comes to routing, when it comes to switching, do you really know, what ARP is? I mean, some candidates, they graduate from master's or diploma, but when we are asking very basic questions, they really lack in understanding, explaining what ARP is. If it's a 0.0 configuration, if I'm trying to ping XYZ device, what will happen in the very first packet? It will be our broadcast. This is what you need to know, how ARP works. What is the significance of ARP? What is the significance of STP? Let me see. I think I don't have on this PC, but what exactly STP does? Like what is port fast? What is STP and how it differentiates from RSTP? What are the different stages it goes through before spanning trees formed? The topology is formed. How you differentiates different lengths. Let's say I have a topology of 3 routers. One is 10 gig, one is 1 gig, one is 100 Mbps. How that will make a difference in the STP election? What would be the cost? Would it be based on cost? Would it be based on interface? How it is going to elect? Not just about talking about BPDUs. This is what you have to learn. This is the knowledge you have to acquire. When it comes to certificates today, I'm connecting to, let's say, I'm connecting to University of Concordia. When I open concordia.ca, what is happening? Why I'm getting this, key lock here, right? Why IC connection is not secure? But let's say, when I go to, let's say, UBC, when I'm going to UBC, .ca, what exactly is happening? What exactly is going on? Okay, my connection is secure. What's the significance of it, right? Let's view the certificate. What exactly is happening here? Is there any encryption? Is there any encryption going on? Is there any is there any keys being exchanged? Private key, public key? What exactly my client is doing? How the server is responding me back? Whether I'm doing a client hello, whether server is sending me some acknowledgement back. This is what we need to know. What exactly this common name is, which is given to ubc.ca. What does it mean? What exactly this public key info is? What exactly these fingerprints are? This kind of knowledge you have to have on certificates, to really understand what certificate means. If you are going on ubc.ca, how you are being protected, with the secure connection. What kind of encryption is taking place, what kind of key exchange is taking place. When I open ubc.com, what is the first thing which is going to take place? My client is going to send a hello. What if I don't have the certificate? If it is not trusted by my browser, what exactly is going to happen? Whether I'll say the connection is not secure. Why is that? Do I really know if there is a repository in my browser itself? Let's see. Certificates, view certificates. Let's see. I can import any cert. I can, if I'm getting insecure connections, maybe it's just my local device here. I can also do that. There is a trusted host. Let me see here. Yeah, basically that's what the goal is. It's all about the repository, because every browser has some repository of trusted certificates that they will trust it, and you won't see any security warnings. But you really need to be very careful. If you're going on any website, if you get a prompt, this site is not secure, do you just close your eyes and just click proceed to the website regardless of what exactly is saying? You really don't bother to see what kind of certificate is that, whether it's secure, whether it's unsecure. If it is unsecure, why it is unsecure. This is the kind of knowledge you have to acquire to have more understandings about the certificates, what exactly root CA is, what is the significance of root CA, what is the significance of CA certificate, what exactly trusted CA is. So when you are studying about certificates, this is the kind of probing you are done in any interviews you appear for. So study well, prepare well, try to understand the logics behind what is happening. Most of the times what we do is we don't care what exactly is going on. This is the kind of knowledge you have to acquire. When it comes to routing, how many of you really understand the routing flags? How many of you really understand what connected route is? What are the different flags when I do a, let's say if I do a so I see, C, I see B, I see, CB. What exactly this means? What exactly this flag means? This is a similar flags in any device you'll go. What does C means? What does S means? This is the kind of information, the knowledge you have to acquire. How they differentiate. You have to understand what exactly 200/0 means. It's distance versus priority. It's priority versus distance. This is a BGP. It's a BGP. As you know, internal IBGP has a distance of 200 by default. What exactly directed? Directed. This means it's a connected route directly connected to the interface. This is what it means when you're doing any lab. So this level of information you have to acquire. You need to understand flags when it comes to OSPF. Try to understand when OSPF is trying to establish a neighborship, what exactly stages it goes through from the down to init, and so on. Try to understand what happens at every single stage. Same goes with BGP peering. When BGP peering, when you're trying to establish BGP peering, what exactly stages it goes through. What are the different BGP attributes? This is what you need to acquire, and just don't. I won't encourage everyone just to memorize these things, because you can memorize for a day or two, but only way to uh, have a good grasp on the information is to lab it out. If you will lab it out, you don't have to memorize anything. You can explain by examples. You can when you are trying to interview for anyone, try to present your lab, whether it's EVNG, whether it's GNS3, what kind of efforts you have made, what kind of topologies you have made. It's very impressive. um, but again, I will repeat myself again, body language matters. Be confident. Don't say I'm feeling nervous, I'm sorry. You don't have to be sorry. Again, you are given an opportunity. You already know you are being going for an interview, and still you are nervous. Why you are nervous? The only reason is because you are not well prepared. There is no excuse to it. I'll tell you. I'll share something with you. Um, there is a concept: being above the line, being below the line. there are many scenarios where we go below the line. What below the line means is whether it's me, whether it's you, it's more like we are underperforming. When we are underperforming, it's totally we are coming up with the excuse. But when we are everyone goes under the line, whether it's me, whether you. But when we go under the line, we have to have an action plan. What action plan I have to go above the line. And each of us, if we have a better action plan, if we are confident, we can always, be above the line. You can read more about above the line, below the line. You can Google it. There are, different, topics on that. You'll get to know. But I'll say, you have, if you have to achieve, you got to believe, you got to be a believer to be an achiever. There cannot be a fruit without a root, and the root cause to all the success to me is, is the belief. This is what I believe. Again, always remember, character is not made in crisis. It's always exhibited. Anybody who can face adversity doesn't buckle under the pressure. Pressure is what you allow it to be. Because the reason I'm saying is when we interview candidates, they come up with an excuse. I feel a little bit of pressure. I'm being nervous. If you are well prepared, you'll not let pressure to, you'll not let the pressure to build up. So be confident, on what you know. If you don't know everything, we are not expecting you to know everything. Even as I said, I don't know everything. But what I know it very well. This is all it means to me. And we all have an opportunity to grow, to learn, and always be a student, learn from each other, try to help each other. The great, the great thing in my team is that we work for each other. We work for each other's success. It's a great environment. You feel so welcomed when you join our team. Every person will reach out to you. They want to help you. They want to coach you. They want to guide you. Anytime you need, to sync up with them, one-to-one coaching, they'll be happy to help you. Though we have a great training mechanism, in place, where you go through self-paced training, you go through in-person training, you go through call barging, you go through reverse call barging. Before you go live on the floor, we make sure you're confident enough to take the cases, because the cases you're going to handle, it's not a home user who's calling you. It's, you're working with network admins, security admins, to work on those issues. It could be a production down environment. If you are not familiar with the topic, you're not confident, that will not fly good. So we make sure every candidate who goes on the floor, they are very well trained. They are given all the required information, to handle the cases. Of course, in the beginning, there is a lot of helping hand, but candidates go individually, they feel more confident. Of course, we have great labs, we have breaking points where you can quickly lab out. We have swarming groups. So overall, I'll say it's a great team environment, and we work for each other's success, and we want everyone to be successful. I know candidates I hired, some of them, they are working as managers, some of them, they are working as technical account managers, some of them, they are managing our data centers. And we want people to grow. Someone we are hiring at tier 1, we don't want them to be at tier 1. We want them to be, growing to a next levels, because that's a part of a motivation. And we really work for individual success. We lay out a plan, where you want to see yourself in next 2 years, 3 years, and a leadership team really makes sure, and any individual, who needs some personal attention, to be successful, they are getting that, attention. They are getting that resources, training, to be successful, as a part of motivation. Again, it's at the end of the day, I'll say it's a passion, not pedigree, which wins you at the end. Clarity of the thoughts is equal to success in everyday's life. So just don't read, easy stuff. You may be entertained, but you will never grow from it. So this is all I have to say. I mean, sorry, I'm running out of time now. I was given 40 minutes, but I'll open, to the floor now.
Great. Thanks so much, Maninder. Thank you. Time for questions, guys. Do you have any questions? Yes, Sergey, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'll jump ahead and ask a question about what do you think about importance of Fortinet certification? Since we're opening a course in a couple of weeks for Fortinet NSC4, so maybe you can speak up about Fortinet certifications. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great point. I will not just speak about Fortinet certifications, but I will speak about other certifications as well. Honestly, I'm not a fan of certifications. I'm a fan of knowledge. I don't want you to spend $300 and go, CCNA certification to be eligible for the job. I'll say just acquire the knowledge. If you want to go for a certification for your own benefit, I mean, if you can afford that, it's good. I'll encourage that. But applying in Fortinet, you really, if you really are waiting for a certifications, don't do that. Your knowledge, if you can convince me in the interview or in the leadership to our leadership teams, that is all we need. We go for an attitude. To me, I'm less concerned about technical, but to me, attitude matters. It's the attitude, if you have the attitude to learn, to grow, you'll do it. But if you don't have that attitude, you don't have that vision, then it's hard. I interview candidates with CCNP. We all know it's to be realistic. If I have to do CCNP today, I can go to any website or there is a lot material available on the internet. I can download. I can read 1,000 questions or 500, depends how much the website is giving. I can crack CCNP into certification, but just ask yourself: are you satisfied with that certification? Does that certification make you happy? Do you feel confident, again, with that CCNP certification? I will happily be, able to interview you. I'll be happy, the guy has a CCNP certification. I want to interview this guy. But ask yourself, how good you feel about that certification? How much you know about CCNP? How in depth you know about OSPF, BGP, and switching, because that's what you're covering in CCNP. Even I'll say if you have 80% of CCNA knowledge, a good knowledge of CCNA, 80% of that knowledge, if you have done enough labs, this is all I need. When it comes to NSC4, if you have gone through, the labs of NSC4, if you have, if you have really acquired that knowledge, and the material which you have been given for NSC4, that's good enough. You join Fortinet, we'll pay for your certification.
Thank you. Jay, please go ahead. Yeah, Jay, do you have a question?
Yeah, hello, Maninder. So, hello, Professor. So, I have a question regarding, let's say, as cybersecurity students or information security students, like, what are the top, like, the trending threats that we need to be worried about, or we need to know in network as well as in the information security field?
There are, every day there are, great question, Jay. There are, multiple threats which are being generated every day. It could be SQL injection. It could be, IPS attacks, DDoS attacks. That's where, when I was talking about ZTNA, when I was talking about Security Fabric, or UTM, Unified Threat Management, that's where, they play the role. But the trend keeps changing. The trend keeps changing. It's always switching from one point to another. I mean, like last year in December we had Log4j vulnerability, right? Which really impacted a lot. But in day-to-day basis, there are I'll say millions of threats which are generated every day. It could be related to SQL injection. It could be DDoS, right? It could be with any signatures which is trying to trigger to the any open vulnerabilities. So It's really I cannot point out on one particular threat which is pretty active, but again, it's all about I'll say social. I mean, if you talk about threats, social engineering, or what do you call social networking is itself is the biggest threat, right? I can ask you, I can be your friend. I can ask you many questions, and you might believe in me, and you might reveal many, a lot of confidential information. Hi, there is a threat. Again, there are different kind of threats, right? It could be nothing related to firewalls, but it could be related to just about social engineering, social networking. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Maninder. Yeah.
Thank you. So we will not be able to take any more, like more than 3 questions. So Franco, please go ahead.
Hello, Maninder.
Hi.
I have 3 questions. Maybe you will not be able to respond all of them, but basically, my first question is about the security profiles. How the Fortinet work in the application layer inspection? Let's say that one of the file that is going through the firewall is identified as a malware. So I'm not sure if this technology is able to identify the SHA output or the string, as a identifier in the communication between the end user and some internal communication to the internet. So that's my first question. My next question is about how the Fortinet can prevent confidential information to be uploaded to personal cloud. So let's say one of the internal user is moving a confidential file, some internal information company. So how this technology can avoid or prevent those. And the last question is how the DevOps is applicable to the Fortinet.
Sorry, can you please repeat the last question?
How DevSecOps, all the development operations is applicable to Fortinet technology. I'm not sure if it's applicable or not.
Let's start with the first question.
Like, could you please provide very short answers so we can
take definitely
last 2 questions and you can continue this discussion later.
Yes, definitely. You can always connect me on LinkedIn. We can have those discussions. We have different profiles as I'm showing antivirus web filter. So as a file comes, right, we have different daemons which are working at the background. So we'll buffer the file. Depends what we are doing, flow inspection or a proxy inspection. So we'll buffer the entire file. So we'll match against all the signatures before the file is released. Depends on what solution customer is using, whether they're using FortiWeb, FortiMail, in conjunction with FortiGate. So it will go to FortiMail. FortiGate will do another check. It will go to Sandbox. Sandbox will exploit for zero-day attacks before it is released to end customer. So this is how FortiGate protects. Again, I can elaborate, but I'll try to keep it short for now. Apologies. I have to respect the time as well. And your next question was, sorry, if you can come again with that.
Yeah, about the confidential information and do not be allowed to.
Yeah, I mean, of course, right? Any information, it all depends. How your policies are. These are the firewall policies. It's very restrictive. The way you are defining your policies, your information will be very confidential. It will not leave FortiGate for sure, 100%.
Okay.
It's all about how you're shaping that. And of course, with your DevOps, question again, it's a separate team which is working on it, which is really focused on working on the FortiOS and the how we secure our system. Yeah.
Great. Please go ahead, Masood.
Yes, hi. Actually, I have 2 questions. One related to the encrypted traffic as an inbound traffic, for example, HTTP traffic, which is going outside, and might be it is coming inbound traffic. So though it can be done in a firewall in terms of the encryption and decryption, the policies can be done and various product. But specific to the Fortinet, so how does impact itself? Because since the same device will be used for the SD-WAN solutions, because there is a load on the firewall itself, and the same time decryption can be happening also. The same question, like it's something malware, it will be go through the firewall in term, we are not using any encryption and decryption on the packet. So how does Fortinet firewall income can provide the more advantage on it? And second question related to the SD-WAN utilization of the traffic. As you mentioned, there is a couple of WANs you can define it, like for example, one ISP, two ISP, three ISPs. So normally we use some other monitoring mechanism to monitor the link utilization, like how much the traffic is going through the one link, another link. So if we don't have any kind of any management solution, so only we have a Fortinet itself. So how granular level the report can be provided by the Fortinet?
Okay, I'll start with the first question, which was, sorry, when you bombard me with a couple of questions, so I just lose the track of the first question. So first I'll come to the encryption and decryption, right? Let's say you're not using any inspection, right? There is in this policy, I'm not using any inspection. So even if the traffic is going out, still it's being inspected, because it's just a the way we have designed our how the design of the firewall is. It's the daemons like IPS daemon, which is inspecting the traffic, regardless of if we are doing an inspection or not. Based on that, and threats will be identified. And when it comes to encryption and decryption, we have virtual servers here. You can see that. We can do type HTTPS, depends, what kind of, what exactly we want to do with that. This is, for any incoming traffic. Let's say, we are hosting a server which is inside the Fortinet, and any user which is connecting from, outside to our website. This is how, it will be encrypted. It will be decrypted. You will assign the virtual IP, will assign the local IP, will define the health check based on what we want to create. Will also include the certificate for decryption and encryption. Here we are doing decryption here. Depends, right? I'm just taking one example. Let's say if I try HTTP, let's say if it is a secure connection coming from outside, we'll be able to decrypt that connection using this virtual server solution here. Does that answer your first question?
Yes, but after enabling of decryption and encryption, so firstly you will be having a multiple customers. For example, within the one Fortinet SD-WAN solution, for the one company, they have a maybe like 10 or like maybe 20 branches are there. So in order to make this capability on what will be the impact itself on the firewall level? Like if you will increase it, encryption, decryption on the firewall, the performance can be degraded, right? How you can handle this?
Yeah, it's a great question. Again, it all depends, right? Right now I'm using FortiGate 60. This is my 60 solution. I mean, it depends, right? If you are a big customer, you are buying 1000 series, 1500, 3000, based on what you're going to do on your firewall. So our firewalls are able to handle a lot of load, millions and millions of session encryption, decryption. This is well mentioned on our data sheet for every product. So like big customers, they are even using chassis like 6K, 7K, and there is no performance issues. I mean, there is no none of the information is compromised when it comes to handling any secure connections. So again, to answer your questions, to performance base, it just depends upon what solution you are buying.
Okay, so thanks, Maninder. Because we run out of time, we will take a very short question from Abiola. Piulua, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Maninder. Thank you for the very insightful session. So I actually come from a country where Sophos has a significant portion of the cybersecurity market. So because of that, I have a good number of years of experience of hands-on on Sophos XG and the different point solutions, even when they just acquired Cyberroom earlier in 2013, 2014. So my question is this, with the number of years of experience I have on XG and the different point solutions, do you think I would probably struggle with Fortinet? I can see so many similarities in the GUI, and even also treating security as a system, not treated in silos because of synchronized security. And I can see that the security fabric you mentioned is something similar to the synchronized security software preaches about too. So do you think I'll probably struggle, of course, managing Fortinet and the different point solutions?
So, to answer your question, it's a great question to ask, and it's for everyone. Don't focus when you're going for an interview, don't focus on specific product line. It's good you have that information, but it's all about the fundamentals. If your fundamentals are strong, you should be okay. If you really know what firewall is, how firewall behaves, this is all you need to know. I mean, every firewall is behaving in the same. Sonic Wall might have, Sophos might have different features. Everyone is using same proxy features, same flow features, same kind of mechanism. Of course, things might differentiate here and there, but just focus on the fundamentals, whether it comes to switching, whether it comes to routing, whether it comes to VPN, whether it comes to firewalls. I'll highly encourage each of you, just know the fundamentals very, very well. Have a solid understanding on the fundamentals. This is all you need to know, and just be confident when you are applying for a position, whatever you are mentioning in your resume. When you especially, when you bold it, I know these VPN, I know this DNS, DHCP, make sure you really know it well. This is all you need.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks so much, Maninder, for your interesting talk, and thank you all for attending. We wish to see you all in our next InfoSec seminar on October 13. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And once again, my sincere thanks to Concordia University and everyone participating. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, everyone.